Perfect day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kings and queens, Marcos Namakos guys, and to all my gender non-conforming people, hey guys, welcome. Welcome to your greatest young show on land. Yes, I said it. This is your greatest young show on land, right here on Keith Ngesi Radio with myself, Baby Sihu. But you know, I'm never rolling alone. I'm rolling with one of the most brilliant minds. Yeah, no, I was thinking about this week. I'm just like, hey man, this guy is brilliant. Like, his mind is something else. So I'm hanging out with a brilliant young mind here, the future of South Africa. Yes, I believe that. Mr. Asanda Magaga himself. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much. I'm brilliant. Wow.
Yeah, no, your mind is.
I hope my mom heard that. But yeah, no, thank you so much. I'm good, man. I'm good. I feel brand new. I feel
Nah.
brand new. I feel good, and it's good to be back. It's really good to be back. I missed sitting across from you like this.
It's been a minute. You were not here last
It's
week, and I was just
been.
like, what's going
Hey.
on? Why am I rolling alone here? But your energy was here, you know, your spirit was here because
Ah,
we never roll alone here. And in case you didn't know, now you should know that you're listening to Keith Ngesi Radio. Of course, you do if you're watching on our Facebook page. Thank you so much for following us and liking our page. Please make sure you follow our sister pages, the Keith Ngesi Radio Academy, and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're YouTubers now.
please.
So go to Keith Ngesi Radio and subscribe. You can also watch there and listen on the app. It is the Keith Ngesi Radio app on Google Play Store or www.keithngesi radio on the internet. And make sure you stay tuned with us, man. Today we're talking about brah. Listen, so this week, I don't have a phone, guys. And because I don't have a phone, I pretty much didn't have. I had a lot of free time because usually I'd
Mm,
be on my phone if I'm not working. So I had a lot of free time and I was just chilling, lounge vibes, just being myself, you know.
yeah.
And I came across something on TV. I don't watch TV, but the news were playing. And there was an investment conference that was taking place sometime this week. So obviously it was being broadcasted on this other. We're not gonna mention it, but
Mm,
yeah, on TV, and they mentioned ICT.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was informations and communications technology and digital solutions, and
Hmm.
they allocated about 1.2 billion to it. And I was just like, wait, what do you mean? 1.2 billion. So today we're talking about money, guys.
Yes.
You know, in other words, we're talking about money. We're talking about please help.
We're talking about my field first of
Yeah,
all. We're talking, and I think it's one of the reasons why I was so happy about this show for this week, because I was like, we are talking about my
we're
field.
getting to know you
You're getting to know me,
even more.
yeah, you're getting to know now Asanda Magaga even more, because a lot of times, yeah, I think people know Asanda, but now you're getting to know Asanda Magaga and what industry he's in, because a lot of people know that I'm in business, but they don't know what
What
business I'm
exactly
in.
you do?
Then some people know Modern Clever,
Yeah.
but they don't know
Or
about
that you have
Butlers
a
or Us.
spaza shop, but it's
But it's
on the
online.
internet, you
Yeah,
know.
you understand.
Yeah.
And it's much bigger than that, man. The ICT industry is it's huge.
Mm,
It's really huge. And I think we need to look at it differently,
yeah.
right? Because we just look at it nyal and we tell that okay, here's a delivery company and it's an online shop. It's not an online shop. It
Spaza shop, that's
you
online. That's
understand?
what we know.
Yeah, and it's not. It's a whole shopping mall that is online. You understand?
Mm.
It's a whole Hemingways that is online, because we always have to go there, must say Hemingways Ginyao. So now you just access Hemingways on your phone. And that's just what we're talking about, man. We're talking about innovation,
Yeah.
because the
Heard that
reason,
word a lot. Heard that word a
trust
lot. I
me,
was like, hey, innovation. What is this
yo,
innovation thing? But fortunately, today we're not just talking alone. We do have a guest who will be, you know, tapping into that space
yeah,
and elaborating more on what it is that Asanda does, you know, because Asanda's been around and he wasn't telling us exactly what he does. We just know he's the modern clever. Gandhi, there's more to it. There are billions to it. And there's like a whole entire
as
field to
you
it.
make people bank money,
Yeah, no,
they'll think I'm
guys,
billions
this
now.
that listen, he's
Yo,
a million
what?
guys.
Don't
Asanda
lie on your
is sleeping
public
on
platform.
like, bro, you're sleeping on millions here.
Then it's time to wake up.
Wake up, bro. So we're talking about informations and communications technology,
Yes, man.
which is, I believe, a field in
Hmm.
tech that this is the part where you help me out.
Because I was watching, I'm like, okay, I want to hear what you're going to say.
Yeah, this is the part where you help me out because the reason why I felt we should talk about this is that a lot of young people are always branching into business ventures and are trying to be entrepreneurs. And they know the traditional way of being an entrepreneur. So, what you know is you need to start a business. What business? You need to sell something.
Yeah.
You need to have this, I don't know, set up, you buy rent a place, a property
Yeah.
where you're gonna set up a shop and this and this and that, and that's what we know. Kanti ngoku, there are other ways to be a business
Run your
person,
business.
to offer services.
Yeah.
So that's what brought me and moved me to talk about this. And the fact that you were even in this field made it more exciting for me because I mean, people are making money out of
They
this,
are.
and we live in a society where young people don't have jobs, young people are unemployed, it's poverty stricken, and people don't know how to use the resources they have at their disposals. Be it, I mean, you started your business,
Yeah.
if only
If only.
you literally
Yeah.
through research, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool.
This is
You
something I
told
can
me
get
how you
done.
set up your website, and I was like, so you literally just went to YouTube
Yeah.
to set this up, which is going to be a success. I mean, you're a millionaire, so
I
um,
receive. I receive.
young people can actually start branching into this, can
Yeah.
start generating income or finding other ways to be an entrepreneur,
Just
and
using their phones.
exactly, and
Yeah.
exploring and working and just capitalizing on the resources that we have, or the new fields that are open to us. That's why I wanted to talk about this, but I really don't get it. I'm not IT. I'm thinking, you need to be a genius,
I
bruh.
used to think so too.
Nah.
Or maybe I'm a genius. I don't know.
Okay,
But see, here's the
okay,
thing.
okay.
This is where it all starts, right? With the internet. Let's just focus there.
Yeah.
That okay, cool. Everyone, okay, well, not everyone, but most people have access to the internet already.
Mm.
You find that we just scrolling through our phones almost every day, consuming a content that it won't even build us. You understand?
Yeah.
We're just looking at people being on vacations. You go on YouTube, you're looking at lifestyles and everything like that, and you're just looking at Sabawell, and that's it. And we're forgetting that there's a whole different side of the internet where now it's education,
Yeah.
education, education. There are courses that you can find online that are free and you actually get certificates. It happens all the time. So that's when I saw that okay, there's so much to learn. First of all, there's really so much to learn. And
Yeah.
I have Wi-Fi, I have a laptop, I have a phone. I can actually get this done at home, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, the best place to learn about the internet is the internet itself. It's like if
Mm.
you want to learn something about me, you come to me.
Mm.
So I used the internet to get to know the internet.
Whew.
You understand? I know,
Whew.
man.
You're always dropping gems. And it's just simple things, but when you think about it, you're just like, hey, whew,
Yeah,
this is it.
I
Yeah.
was on a blind date with the internet, and we
Mm.
got to know each other, and we fell in love, man. And the internet was like, Mamela, what you want, I'll give it to you. What do you want?
Mm.
I searched. Okay, cool. I want to sell online. How can I sell online? There are so many different ways to sell online. First of
Yeah.
all, you understand, and people are doing it. It's the same thing where you know when people are taking Mbata somewhere, and then they post on their status on WhatsApp, then people buy.
Mm.
That's entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
That's ICT entrepreneurship. You're selling online. That's it. You don't have a store yourself, but you are able to generate leads and customers through social media.
Mm.
That's ICT. So I don't want people thinking when you say ICT, what do you must be a genius.
Yeah, a tech genius because IT, I'm thinking you must be
Mm,
hacking here.
no.
You must be able to, if I say, Asanda, my phone's not working, please open it up for me. Then here you are, Asanda, you're that guy trying
Yeah.
to open up, or you need to be aware of the software and how the
Mm,
phone was made. And this is what,
yeah.
iPhone consists of. And
No, that's a different branch of ICT. And that's
oh,
the nice thing about the industry. The ICT industry, it's an open field of opportunities.
mm,
We have people who know how to hack. We have people who know how to code apps, people who know how to
yeah,
code websites. We have game developers. We have animators. It's really a big field, and it took a lot of years for us to catch up to it as a
yeah,
country. But I'm very pleased with what's been going on since COVID started.
yeah,
Because with COVID, I'll be honest with you, my success, I owe a lot of it to COVID and the
Mm.
lockdown,
Yeah.
because that's when Butlers R Us started.
Mm.
Because I could see that, okay, the normal way of life of I need
Has
to walk to
changed
the
now.
shop, you
Yeah.
understand? So I realized that, okay, cool, everyone has to be at home now. How can I take advantage of that? You
Yeah.
understand? And how can I make things easier for them as well? So you
Mm.
understand that now I used the internet to reach out to people who are not even here,
Mm.
and for them to be able to get izinto that are outside of even their geographical areas, but they
Oh.
were able to shop online. And not shop online meaning the stores that you see as that are well established. We're talking about the outer second and Zichisanya. Who knew
Mm.
that ungakwazi uthenga amagwinya online? You understand?
Yeah.
And that's one thing we need
Oh.
to understand as black people, that, okay, let me say as Africans actually. One thing we need to understand as Africans is what we have to sell, people want to buy, but they cannot reach us because I'm stuck like
Mm.
on Yami one is a quick.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And in order for me to reach those people, how am I going to do that? I need to be online. You
Mm.
understand? And the things I'm online and it's working. It's really, really working out. You understand?
Yeah.
So it was just it's just a matter of, one, we need to understand the ICT industry first of all.
Yeah.
If I
That's
wanted
not how to hack. That's what I thought. I was like,
exactly,
hey,
you
these
understand?
guys are hackers, these
And
ones.
it's not even that. It's really not even that. So we've been missing out on so many opportunities as Africans, man.
Mm.
And it's not only us, the I don't want to call us normal citizens. We are not the normal ones. But it's really us, the it's not just us, the citizens, right? It goes even with our leadership. I was surprised when that ngoku I'm able to book online xa ndifuna ukwenza i-P2P. I didn't know that I can get that done online. That chick I sent it, like, yeah, no, you can do it. And I'm like, Yindifama yenzeke a long
Mm.
time ago. You understand? So when it
Booking
comes
for
to,
your learners, your
yeah,
drivers,
now you can
everything,
do
it's
that
online.
online. And a lot of countries have been doing that online for the longest time. Even it just came out on the answer online and kuthiwa iyafika next week. Kanti before befuneka
Hey,
ufole
look
post
at this
office for
guy.
what?
Yeah, yeah, like everything.
Wow.
I'm doing everything online.
I That's the thing. For me, I try to do everything online, Shem. If I get online, trust me, I'll make sure that I'll find a way to make it happen online.
Speaking of which, they're chilling with one of of the brilliant minds again, a young person who is making it happen.
Hmm.
I believe he's making things happen. Ubonge Keza, we had to make your entrance very dramatic, because you've been around and we've been mentioning that there's a guest here in the studio, and people are just like, "Where's this
Oh,
guest?"
yeah.
The guest is here, guys. He's been around. He's here chilling. Okay, how are we looking? How can you guys see us? How's the setup? Can
I think we
you
look good. Yeah, yeah. No,
Okay, I think we're
yeah, yeah,
comfortable
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Mr. Kweza is
Social
finally here.
distance.
We've been talking about you. Bakuthiwa yintoni ngoku lo mntu bayasiqhatha nabazama uzenza edgy. We're not trying to make ourselves edgy. And the thing is, here on Young Purpose, we don't introduce our guests because I feel like you know your story better than we do. Mingathi kanduze apha on radio today, and you don't want to be known as Bonke Kweza. Mhlawumbi you're a millionaire because you're in ICT. Usithi hayi fundini yintoni ento yenzayo ngoku. And I'll say little about you, and you'll say, "Hi, in grade one, I got an award for being the best writer or an award for numeracy. Why don't you mention that? Mention my accolade." So I'm just going to give you a chance to quickly introduce yourself for those who may not know you.
You
Who
know what?
is
Sorry. Before he speaks, ne,
Ne?
before this guy
Okay,
speaks,
okay.
I've spoken to him a lot of times. Ne, before Ubonge speaks, listen to how this guy speaks. I was
Ah.
surprised when we met. I was like, over the phone, I was not expecting him. As in, I was expecting Josh or someone. Listen to this guy speak. My guy.
This feels like a groupie fangirl moment.
I
Like this,
am.
yeah. Like, okay,
Man,
before he speaks, guys, listen to this.
when he speaks, I listen. I'm like, okay, yeah, man, this guy mesmerizing. My guy, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me on the show. It's absolute pleasure
Okay, please
to be here.
speak closer to the mic. We've heard that you're very articulate, so we
Yes.
want to hear that
All right,
properly.
all right. So yeah, thanks guys for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Bonke Kweza.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
East
okay.
London
Sorry.
based.
Oh, I get
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so my name is Bonke Kweza. Born and bred in Tanzania, East London.
Aight, aight,
I
aight,
went to
aight.
school just around the corner here, and I'm a technology-based entrepreneur, an aspiring data scientist, and a digital marketing specialist.
Ooh,
My days in entrepreneurship date back to like the early 2000s. A friend of mine and I saved up some money and started a little snack business
this
where we
guy
were going
said
around.
early 2000s.
Now I'm sitting here, I'm like, hey, Altem, how old are you?
Hey,
Early
Kanti.
2000s.
Early 2000s. I was in 2003. I was in grade three. 2004, grade four. So it was around about that time.
Still in
So
kids, diapers, but it's okay.
so yeah, I've been entrepreneurial since those days. I used to participate in the KTV market days. If you guys remember those back in the day, I had a stall
Yeah,
there.
no, Asanda was not around, but yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, my knack for entrepreneurship started off then. I then carried that on to into high school where I was involved with hosting events for my peers and doing promotions and things like that. And ultimately, the bug really bit in varsity. My first years, that's when I established my first legal business.
My first name. What?
I mean, don't take it in that way. I mean, I've always been doing legal things.
Yeah,
Incriminating
no,
But
hey,
information.
I'm
hey.
more formal.
If there's one thing about digital entrepreneurs, you guys,
We start illegally.
yo.
But yeah, in a nutshell, that's who I am. I'm a technology ICT based entrepreneur, aspiring data scientist, and a digital marketing specialist.
Okay, sorry, ne, but you said you're from Tanzania. Now I'm from Tanzania,
Yeah.
and we're talking about ICT.
Yeah.
An online radio station. He's it. Okay, it's a proud moment, guys. Shout out to you. Shout out to Tanzania. So you pretty much had the best of both worlds because you come from this place, Tanzania, which is considered to be a place where dreams do not really come true. If you're from Tanzania, you don't make it out of there. You fall into the same cycle, which is you make it to matric. If you're lucky, you pass it, and if you're not, unfortunately, I mean, it's not even unfortunate. That's the norm. You go to work to ShopRite, or you don't even work,
Yeah.
and you went to school around the corner, which is, yeah, we can only assume, but it's the best of this other world, which is a privileged world, a world that has access to this information about technology informations. Okay, I'm breaking it down.
And we enjoying it
Okay.
so much. We're like,
Yeah, no,
okay.
because I don't know if I can break it down to information, like the three
Mm.
words: information, communicate. Anyways, so that's how you got into it exactly.
Yeah. So from the entrepreneurial days, I sort of just grew towards it. I
Okay,
knew
wait,
nothing
wait.
about it.
Sorry. Around 2000s, you were already a young entrepreneur in the making.
Yeah.
Was that with technology, or was it the traditional way of business and entrepreneurship?
It was traditional. I knew
Okay,
nothing. I mean,
okay.
tech advancements at that time were not
Oh, yeah. And I'm just like,
advanced.
okay.
Young
So it is
genius.
just the normal thing, selling, buying something and then selling it to your peers, sweets,
What is
and
this
snacks and
something?
things like that.
I want to
don't
know
know.
what this
Sweets and
something
snacks.
is.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
hey.
not everyone's a criminal like you guys. Like, this guy's waiting for you to say something because he knows what he's been doing and breaking the law. No, not everyone breaks the law. Not Bonke.
Not,
Anyways, yeah.
not one. I like
So you started the traditional way of doing things. Do you think then being an entrepreneur is a calling, or is it just something you can do in order to survive? Because you started at a young age. Who thinks about selling stuff in grade three? Because I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking of playing. And
Yeah.
here you are trying to make money, smart enough to come up with an idea of making money at a young age. So do you think it's something that you were born with and it's in you, or it's something you just picked up as means to survive? You're like, hey man, I needed to make extra cash, so let me sell something. Or it was in you, and the fact that you started, you were pushed by a higher source or something.
Yeah, I think definitely it probably does come as a calling for some people. But that was not the case for me. I don't come from a background where I was around entrepreneurs or things like that. My parents were
No,
sales.
Josh. Like, hey, take this vineyard. It's yours now, son.
No, 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 nothing like that. So yeah, it didn't come naturally for me. I sort of grew into it by seeing it occurring around me. When I started seeing that there was a shortage of this, I then came up, okay, this might be the solution to this problem. So let me try and now penetrate this market and service this need that's out there. So yeah, it didn't come naturally for me. I grew into it. I identified a problem and I came up with a solution for it.
You mentioned something. This is a conversation, guys. Now,
Yeah.
feel free. It's not really much of an interview, but
Interview.
it's guided. It's a conversation. You mentioned something, and it's something we talk about a lot, no, Asanda, on the show, where you said it wasn't something that was passed on to you. You didn't necessarily have guidance. There was no father who say, okay, listen, son, here at home we own vineyards.
Yeah.
Stellies. We're from Stellenbosch. We own vineyards. So you need to watch me, you need to shadow me, because one day you'll take over the business. Do you think that plays like a huge role? What do you think of that, really? That passing down of generational knowledge, the generational skills, does it help you in becoming a better entrepreneur? Or like, what do you think of that? Just that whole thing of, for example, white people, because a lot of white people do that, where as if Utatake was a farmer. There's no need for the guy to go to university, because I know I'm going back home. I'm gonna
Yeah.
farm. I've been learning how to farm, so there's no need for me to go to school. After matric, I'm just gonna go to my dad's farm and be a boss there and manage there.
Mm.
This school is just a formality. It's just for me
Yeah.
to, pass time and be normal like other kids. So I guess my question is, what do you think of that? Do you think maybe it helps in you becoming a better entrepreneur? Is it even a uh an appropriate, I don't want to say appropriate, do you think it's fair that that happens? Or yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I honestly don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
I think every entrepreneur, especially when they're starting out, they
Mm-hmm.
need some sort of mentorship. They need
True.
guidance. So if you have someone that guides you and teaches you what you need to do to become better at this, then you're privileged. So yeah, I definitely think it's a great thing. I would love to see more of it within our culture
Yeah.
and our society.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. So if you have access to such, go for it. If you have someone that you can learn from that knows more than you do in that
Go
particular
ahead.
field that you're in, then go for it. Get yourself a mentor.
But here's the thing, though. No, not with a mentor, but with the whole thing of I'm leaving this to Asand, right? It's really not about what you live or what you live for them. When I'm talking about now your kids, it's more about what you live in them. Meaning that I can live you a business, and I didn't tell you how to run a business. I never taught you how to run a business. So you have a business, and that's it. You don't have the kind of mentality to run the business. You are not experienced in running the business. Kanti, if I first give you the knowledge and the information and the experience, you can build your own without me having to hand it to
How
you.
to?
You understand? So yes, we expect our parents to live a few things for us when they die, but it's more about what you leave in me than what you leave for me. You understand? Because what you leave in me will live on forever. But what you leave for me, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen.
Sustainable,
You
because
understand?
now I know how to think as a young person, and I
Yeah.
know how to get there. I like what you said, where we need to just invoke the culture of teaching others how to do it, mentoring others and showing others how to penetrate a market or how to sustain themselves or whatsoever, which is why we're having this conversation. We're teaching those who are not aware of what ICT is, how to get into ICT. But before we teach them how it is that you can get into ICT, please explain it to me what this ICT thing is. Like I said earlier, Mina, I'm out here thinking you guys guys are hackers. So now if your girlfriend cheats on you, you're like, it's okay. I'll just bug that phone. I'll just hack into that phone. You know, you don't even worry. You're that guy. You don't get cheated on because I've got this,
Maybe
honey.
that's why most of us are single. Because they're like, if I date this one, he'll hack me.
Yeah, no, they run away because they're like,
Oh.
ICT. Oh, IT. We don't even count the C. Like,
Yeah,
okay, there's a
IT,
C there, but silent. IT. Oh, technology. This guy's a hacker. What is ICT?
Okay. So ICT, information communication technology, is a term that's come to describe the merger of various electronic systems. So these electronic systems are computers, telecommunications infrastructure, internet, etc. So in order for us to be able to share information, we need these different systems to work together. We use a computer to store and process information. After I process that information, I needed to send it to somebody. So I need communication technology that can be email or Bluetooth or whatsoever technology we decide ultimately. So ultimately, ICT is the merger of various electronic systems that enable us as humans to get access to information and to communicate this information, share it with other people through various communication technologies.
Someone might be wondering, like, hey, bro, I have the information that I need on social media. We are sharing there. We are sharies, you know, we react. Even now, we are watching you on Facebook and YouTube. What do you mean when you talk about this information thing? And how is it relevant for us? Like, how is it relevant in our society now? Yeah.
Okay, so we live in the information age right now. You know, there's information everywhere. You can get if your source of information is social media, mine might be Google or some other search engine or whatever digital platform. So we live in an information society where we're bombarded with information every day. Some of this information can't be processed through the traditional ways. I can't send you an inbox because maybe that file is too big or whatsoever.
Yeah.
So we need more advanced technologies that will allow for us to share this big data with other people. So yeah, ultimately, I think that's the best way I can explain it. That
And honestly,
communication technology.
It's a gold mine, man. It's really a gold mine. It's just that we haven't really discovered how we can make use of that gold mine. But ICT is a gold mine.
Yeah, I was about to ask if that's the case because now that you're talking about these things, I'm thinking of all the FBI movies that I've watched and the series that I've watched. I'm like, okay, you know what? These guys have like systems that are crazy, and you're just like, how did you access that information? Like, which equipment are you using? And they're using it for police work, obviously, and just politics. That's how it's been used in the past. Like, how do you then use it to generate income? How do you use it and turn it into business now? Because you're talking about informations, merging systems, but how do you then turn it into a business? How is it, turned into a market where you can actually make money out of it?
Okay, so ultimately, the ICT field is very broad, like I had said.
Yeah.
There's broadcasting, there's telecommunications, there's software development, there's mobile apps, social media, etc. So it ultimately depends on which one you want to specialize in. Do you want to create software? Do you want to build apps? Or do you want to be involved in broadcasting or things like that? But in terms of
so this is it. ICT.
are in
You don't
ICT.
say. You guys don't say.
So ultimately, it boils down to where you, as a person, see a problem, right? If you identify a problem that you think can be solved through a mobile app, then you go for it in that sector. If you identify a problem that needs some sort of hardware, maybe you want to make your own microwaves or microphones or phone, then you go for that particular ICT field. But yeah, everything starts off with identifying a problem that you see in society and seeing how you think ICT could play a role in resolving that problem or fixing that problem.
Also, you don't just research and like, okay, this is what ICT is. Let me get into it.
It's a broad field, so choose your specialty.
It is.
Are you going to be in software? Are you going to be in building hardware products? Are you going to be in apps or whatsoever? It's a broad field, so one needs to find what they want to
Their
specialize
niche is.
I have a question about you though. How did you go from being a kid from Tanzania to working with MTN? Because 2021 you were working with MTN. I stalked you, don't worry,
Hey,
and I
this
hacked everything.
guy, this
You
guy.
currently working with Cortex. How did those come about? Because I mean,
Yeah.
when you say I'm doing in Wasam Tanzania, they're like, okay, your way out to Kukubi takes and that's it.
Mm.
You understand?
And I
And
actually did want to be a boxer.
Hey, hectic. I was one, so yeah. I mean,
So,
shout out Tanzania.
so even ngaliwa ngoku I'm
Yeah, no,
ndisengxakini,
we like just quickly.
yeah, no, anolunga,
You
chef.
don't stand a chance here, boy.
Look at you. So Vela, how did that happen?
so yeah, I started the company and I started off with a shoestring budget. I had nothing. I didn't have any capital or anything like that. So I went on building it, organically, I could say. I went out to found my clients in the private sector. I started doing some great work. And yeah, I started getting the little recognition from there, and things have just been building from there. I saw an opportunity in participating in hackathons, right? What hackathons are like these 48
Hackers.
All you got is hack. No, okay, shout.
what hackathons are like these 48-hour IT or ICT events where you guys are given like a topic or a theme, and you guys have to come up with a solution. So you have 48 hours to put together a solution to a particular problem. It could be in unemployment or education or whatsoever. So I started participating in those, and I started coming up with some cool ideas. I came up with an augmented reality app. I came up with a machine learning model that would predict school kids that are at risk of dropping out of school. And those are the things that started building my profile or my reputation, to say. And that's how I got to be chosen for the ICT program that MTN had. I was identified as one of the 50 most promising ICT entrepreneurs in the country last year. Cortex.
Okay. I love how you just mentioned that as if it's just nothing. It's just
one
I
of
mean,
it's promising entrepreneur.
we'll hold on to that. Promises. Okay.
So yeah, that's how things have just gone for me. Organically, I started bringing the profile of myself, my company, and opportunities have sort of been finding their way to me now.
And then after being involved in those programs, have you seen any change after that?
I definitely have. Those programs definitely help in terms of building your capacity as a person, as an entrepreneur, and also building your general profile. You know, people see that and they'll be like, okay, I think this guy might know what he's talking about. So yeah, they definitely helped in that regard, building me as a person, building me as an entrepreneur, and building my brand or my public profile.
So what I'm getting from you is, one, it's important to just get started. Number one, get started. Work with what you have, and take part in programs that you understand, because they build you and they expose you to other things.
Speak.
I was gonna say I like the fact that we share the same sentiments in that. You understand? Because I'm all for get started, do what you can, do what you have to do, and then after that, take part in programs, man. You know, be busy and be productive, and some way somehow your dreams will find you. You don't have to chase them anymore; they find you, and it's the same thing that he's talking about. That, man, I was chosen as one of the top 50. How? You understand?
When he mentioned that, he brushed it over. It was like, guys, Nitirando is like in South Africa, like in the 9 provinces that we have.
Man,
Dude, we're sitting in the midst of greatness.
That's amazing. Because count 50 people and then in South Africa, the whole
that
country, 50.
is
Damn.
like the people that are in the field. Imagine.
And it's such it's a big field, man. It's such a broad industry that you're in. So for Ubagu from people who are hackers, Banye Benza, all these things, and they were like, we want this one.
This hacking thing, I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions where ICT is concerned. Do you have any that you are aware of and that you can just help eradicate in this moment?
With the hacking,
yes. Okay.
Yeah, you know, people tend to think that, you know, the minute you're involved in ICT or something like that, you most likely will know how to hack or something like that. I had someone ask me the other day to help them hack a Facebook account. I was like, no, dude, I don't do that. And even if I
so it's an actual thing.
Yeah, it's an actual thing. People do it. But yeah, you know, there's white hack white hat hackers and there's black hat hackers. Some people that do it for the negative reasons, and
So
some
it's
do
the
it-
black one. Hey.
and
As soon as
ones
he said
that-
black, I was like, oh,
that do
she's
it
gonna.
for good reasons, like
Which is the white hacking.
yeah. So if people are looking for some sort of information that could change the progress of a country, then hackers would probably get involved and take out that information to the people, and it would change things. Sort of like what happened with the Gupta leaks when they started leaking all those emails.
Yeah.
Were leading up to what's the state capture?
State capture, yeah.
So yeah, what would you call that? A black hat or a white hat hacker? But yeah, there are hackers out there. A lot of people
Would call it a
assume-
black hack, but I'm sure, okay.
But
No,
you're
let me
hacking
not.
with good intentions.
good intentions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the biggest misconceptions around that, people see you in ICT, they automatically assume that you can maybe hack things, or they'll think that you can know how to fix their computer.
Oh, that's yeah.
And we'll look at you and think, Bonke Kweza, ICT, man, wealth,
Yeah.
ICT, this guy's rich.
Mm.
Do you get that?
No, I don't carry myself in that way. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't give out that energy that okay,
I
you know
always
what?
carry myself as a startup entrepreneur, that's going through the trials.
Chief, you are in the top 50. You can't be startup.
You
are not
really
startup
cannot.
anymore.
Just keep it like that, so people don't have to ask you for things.
And also there's I'm glad you mentioned this startup word, because you get a lot of people like, hey bro, I'm involved in startups, I mentor young people, and I'm just like, what are these startups? What are you talking about when you talk about that?
Okay, so a startup is any business from like 0 to about 12, 24 months. So it's a business that's still in its infancy stage,
So there's a time frame for it.
Yeah.
You're not always a
It's what
startup.
people used to call small businesses. You know how much I hate that term. I run a small business. You run a startup. Don't say I run a small business. So you get someone who's like, yeah, I'm buying from small businesses. You're buying from startups. Respect people's businesses. They startups. So that's what startups are. You understand that? Okay, cool. It's still an idea, right? And it's an idea that needs to go through so many phases for it to
To
become
be established.
to be established as a business. You understand? Yes, it is still a business, but it's a startup. And don't think that's not an achievement on its own. It's huge, man. It's a huge achievement. And everybody has been in the startup phase in their life. VT has been in the startup phase, and look at him now. You understand? TP, our business coach, has been in the startup before. Oh, we have the same business coach. Yeah, I mean, come on now. But yeah,
This guy's been
startup.
grilling here.
Wow, I am. Ne? I
You
really
are.
am. Yeah,
It's
I'm a
okay.
big fan of this guy. Trust me, I'm a big fan. But yes, that's just what startup is, man. And with tech involved now in startups, the people need to realize that's where money is. That's where money is. Just simply by looking at your marketing, for an example. Because I don't want to really go deep into it, because now people will start asking, well, okay,
What do
yeah,
you
how
mean
do
by
I
that?
develop
Yeah.
an app? No, let's just focus on just marketing. You are able to market your business to everyone all over the country just through social media.
The world, actually.
The whole world. You're right. The whole world just through social media. You understand? So we do have the tools. The tools, we have them. We just need to use them. That's
Mr.
it.
B. So, I've heard a few business people that I've hanged around talking about, hey bro, if you're thinking of going into business, it is advisable that you go to business school, just to get an idea of what it is that you're doing, to get familiar with the theory and how things are done in business, just the traditional ways of doing things, and just gaining more insight in business. But there are no tech schools here, I don't think are they? So would you advise, how would you advise someone to get to know more about the ICT world? Is it also through the internet, googling? Because I tried googling, I'm just like, there's a lot here, there's just a lot of information. How do I structure this information into something that's going to make sense for me? And knowing a lot of young black people, we don't know how to use the internet. When we google, we literally just google and plagiarize and take whatever it is that is there. And usually there are sites that you find, by this site is not viable, you can't use it for the information. So how can you educate yourself as a a young person who wants to get into tech. I heard Asanda during the week asking for business books.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how can you educate yourself? Can you go to school for it?
There isn't a specific school that's focused purely on ICT. I think every university will likely have an IT department. Right?
Okay.
So find that specialty. Do you want to go into software dev, machine learning, or whatsoever? Find the specialty, learn a lot more about it. You can learn about things over the internet through watching YouTube videos. There's online schools now where you can just study certain courses purely online. Udemy, Coursera, etc. You'll learn everything you need to know on those platforms. But ultimately, the principles of business are the same, So if you go to whatever business school, go to that business school, do that course, but then you know that you'll apply those principles to a tech type of business. But yeah, the principles of business are the same. As much as technology has changed things in terms of business models. But yeah, the principles are the same. If talking about business models, technology has brought about different business models such as Netflix, for example, Uber, Mr. D, all those type of platforms, Butlers Are Us, all those type of business models have come about as a result of technology, and they now employ so many young people as part of the gig economy. So yeah, learn the principles of business, specialize in whatever IT field you want to learn, study that, and you will be able to come up with a solution or build a product after.
Oh, so you do advise young business entrepreneurs to actually go to school? Because I remember in my matric year, we had 3 guys that didn't want to further their education. Like, hey, bro, I want to be a businessman. I don't need to go to school for business. I'm over this. I'm done. What do you mean study business? You can't teach me how to make money. So do you advise young people to actually go to school, or just go through the internet, swifting through the information there, YouTube? As Asanda said, that's how he learned to create his own website. So do you advise young people to go to school?
I do. People must go to school. If you can, if you have the opportunity to go to school, go to school. I was in business school just last year. So I can't go around advising people that don't go to school.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was some time where there was that sentiment around everywhere. You go on social media.
Yeah, like you don't need
you
to
don't need school.
school.
And then
What
they
do
would
you
make example of Bill Gates dropped out. What? I was like, yo,
you're
but Bill Gates is IQ, man.
Yeah.
So I advise people to go to school, man. Go to school. Even if it's short learning programs, but go to school.
I like that.
But let's look at it this way, though. Man. Yes, go to school. Trust me. I'm not saying people mustn't go to school. Go to school, guys. But now,
you know what he's about to say when he said, "I'm not saying."
Yeah.
He's
If I
pretty
say
much
that
saying.
and I change the seat, the way I'm sitting, you must know. So look, man. I think before we advise people to go to school, can we advise the education system
Definitely.
to change a few things?
Definitely. Yeah.
I did business studies in high school. They didn't teach me how to formulate a business plan. That's business studies. So many things that I'm doing in business right now. Business studies never taught me that in high school. Why were they teaching me business studies? ICT has the word technology in it. That sense of technology schooling. We're building bridges and tables and everything. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. OT, what built a table and why your computer at a national level with competition
For
by
building
building
tables.
a table.
Technology.
We have Bonke who can build an app. No, now look at this. I have to compete with another country. Design a table. But now they come with an app. Who wins? You understand?
Ooh.
So the education system and education department, they need to make a few changes.
Just to add on to that,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with Asanda. I think more emphasis needs to be placed on STEM subjects from grade 1 right up to matric. Kids need to be taught more about science, technology, engineering,
Yeah.
etc. And on top of that, kids need to be taught how to code. Kids need to be taught how to think computationally from a young age.
From a young age.
And I think
much easier.
it goes back to what I asked you on privilege, but I didn't know how to phrase it. Now I know how to phrase it, because in South Africa, for example, we have two, I want to say, curriculums, or two different education systems. There's IEB and there is, I don't know what you guys
caps,
call,
caps,
yes,
yeah.
that one that you guys went to, that
Wow,
one,
look
you
at
know.
private school.
Yeah, come on. Come on, hey child. For example, right, what you're talking about, you go to an IEB school, there's that, you know, these white kids. There's a 17-year-old South African dude who, I was doing research. I was like, he's 17, this guy built an app, he was inspired by his teacher, you know, he's doing, I'm just like, whoa, what's going on, you know. I mean, I did IEB, but that was not the IEB that I did, you know. So you have a lot of, that's why there are a lot of white people in that sector, because most of them went to IEB schools. So you find that they got this knowledge from primary school. You know, you went to Maryfield, they taught you how to, you know, business, not just, I mean, technology, not just building tables. You
Yeah.
actually learned how to use the computer. I was talking about it just now that we do have the internet, yes, but we don't know how to use Google. You know, we are on Google, you can Google things, but we don't know how to operate this thing. So I pretty much agree with you. There's a lot of privilege that is affiliated with EICT for the to get access to the information. Even you need to have a laptop, a lot of, not a laptop, but you need to have a phone, you know, access to it, to the internet, and a lot of kids don't have that. I saw it in Ngokwam Goku not having a phone, and I'm like, hey bro, I'm so struggling. I'm struggling to get things done because I don't have a phone. Now I'm thinking about um a million kids in South Africa who don't have a phone generally. Like abanayo ko abanayo. Now I didn't have it for a week, but I was struggling. Now think of someone who does not have access to this information. It's,
Completely dark. Yeah.
you know, we're talking about 1.2 billion being invested into this industry and you know nothing about
Nothing
it.
about it.
You know, so
understand?
it is
It's just the educational system failing us. We used to go to schools where go to a ndandifunda eMdantsane, by the way, ndandifundile eMdantsane grade 9, 1 year. No, ndandifundile but ndabethwa, so I had to leave, but it's fine. According to a fight day one and I lost, but it's fine. So look, kwakusitshiwo phaya kuthi there's a computer lab. We go there every Tuesday for like 30 minutes. We would get so excited, but we're finally going to sit in front of computers. They taught us Microsoft Word and how to type and everything like
you
that.
probably didn't even
And I'm
remember
like,
that when you left.
that's one, you understand?
Yeah.
But what this is leading to for me is they were teaching us how to be employees. This is something I always say, that our educational system is in the business of creating employees,
Yeah,
not
what to
creating
do.
employers. You understand? Whereby they could have taught us a lot of things. The computers are there, the internet is there, but they teach you how to write kind regards and how to type a CV and cover letter and send it. And then after that, you get ignored. You don't find a job. So, kuyakhalwa about unemployment as we speak. And the reason why so many people are unemployed is because we have an overload of people who were taught to be employees. And then now all the sports, the employees are filled by employees. But we are still, every year, kuphuma abantwana be-matric baphuma, we're releasing more employees. Who is creating the employers?
You know what our school director, which is the equivalent of a principal,
I was about to ask, you guys are directors.
yeah, no. So our school director would always tell us the difference between IEB and the
Caps.
other government. Yes, caps.
Say it, caps.
Caps, yeah, I said
look
it.
me in the eye.
Caps.
Yeah.
You know, the difference between IEB and caps is that IEB teaches you how to think. You know, you need to apply your mind, you need to be a critical thinker, whereas caps teaches you what to think. So here you have your technology textbook, right? There your activities, this is what you need to do, follow these instructions. But your IEB will say, this is a table, show us how it was built, you know, or show us what you can do with it or something like that. But it teaches you how to think, and that is the problem we have in South Africa with a lot of young people, is that I don't want to say we don't know how to think, because I mean, we think, we have brains, but I think our mindsets are wired in a way that is not necessarily critical. You know, we don't know how to
critically think.
Yes, critically think, and that's the problem. How do you tap into that mindset as a young business person in tech and just a young person in business? How do you then change your mindset from being umntana wasemtanzania okhule kuthiwa hey jonga wena xa uvula laptop, kind regards, CV, xa uphuma apha modlala amanqindi, phuma apha modlala ibhola okanye uyophangela phaa, don't even make it to matric. How do we then change our mindsets as young people?
Research. Research
Mm.
things, expose yourself to the things around us. But most importantly, I would advise people to familiarize themselves with what is known as design thinking. Design thinking is a process one can take part in order to solve a particular problem. Basically, it entails empathizing, right? You need to empathize with a particular problem, empathize with the people that are faced with that problem, to really get to the root cause or the root reason why a particular thing is occurring. From there, you go on and you ideate and start thinking of different ideas that could solve this problem. Eventually, you'll choose, the most relevant or the best idea out of all of them, and you'll then prototype that idea and test it and see if it works really. So I think people should research, people should expose themselves to things, be curious. More than anything, be curious, have this urge to want to fix society, and have this urge to want to make the world a better place. I think that's the best that I can advise. That's what I've been doing for myself, and it's been working thus far.
Okay.
I think another thing that we could do now, I understand and I totally agree with what you're saying, but we need to meet those people halfway. So I think we should take it upon ourselves, us the ones who've made it out. We should stretch the hand back. You understand? Where now we have programs where we go and we actually teach you how we did it. Because we find a lot of speakers say, you must do it like this. Discipline,
Ambition.
I
Give us
started
the
with a grain of
steps, bro.
Give
The
us
practical
steps,
ways
right?
to do it.
Don't show me you have money. Don't show me you're successful. Teach me how to make money.
yeah,
Teach me how to be successful. You understand? Because I get surprised when somebody inboxes me and they're like, man, I look up to you. I'm like, oh, okay. So that means I do have the capacity to change somebody else's life. You understand? And I think we need to come together as, like I said, the ones who have made it out or the ones who are working on making it out. And we go back and teach them that, okay, look, listen, this is how you can make it out. You understand? Because really, they are exposed to that kind of lifestyle every day.
There isn't a blueprint, though. There isn't a blueprint on how to make a success of your life or how to take yourself out of a dingy situation into the light. There isn't a blueprint. There isn't necessary steps.
I was about to.
But there's certain things that you could do. But everything just really boils down to that person. If that person is not inspired, if that person doesn't want to solve problems, then it's pointless me reaching out my hand to them saying, hey, bro, come with me. Let me try help you.
I was about to ask how luck plays a role in all of this, because you have people that went to business school, one of the best business institutions, let's say, in the country, and still have businesses that fail, and still don't make it. Does luck play a role? Because you could have like a really incredible startup or a business idea, but you find that whenever you knock in whatever doors or wherever you try to do this, because even though you're in the ICT sector, you still have to knock in doors. You need investors, you need sponsors, you need to talk to people, and sometimes people are not willing to listen. You could have an idea and you need to talk to Obuhlesiu, but Obuhlesiu is like, not today, Asanda, I'm busy. So do you think luck plays a role in your field?
I don't know about luck. I don't know about luck, but being persistent, being consistent is what I think works. Be consistent, be persistent. Don't wait on luck. Be in the right place at the right time. Maybe you might call that luck, being in the right place at the right time. But I'm not a fan of luck. Luck. I believe in working hard and being consistent.
It goes back to what you said. You were like, hey man, listen, our mentors or people who've made it will tell you, be consistent, be diligent, work hard. And man, I've been working hard. I've been putting in the work, but and then again, there's no blueprint.
Sometimes it's the little things, man. I'll now my take on the whole thing. My take on the whole thing is sometimes the business is fine, it's brilliant, but it's not succeeding because of the jockey with this, which is you. You
Mm.
understand? You are holding yourself back. You're holding your business back by the little things that you do. You understand? Some you meet investors and they like your business, but when you are okay,
You as a
I'm
person.
trying to find a
Yeah.
word that is radio
You're an ass.
friendly. Wow,
A
but
donkey.
you understand? You're a donkey. So you do find that sometimes your business brilliant, number one, but in order for me to work with your business, I gotta work with you. So I want to work with your business, but I don't want to work with you. That could be another problem. Personal development is very important for entrepreneurs. Very, very important.
Ah, therapy guy. Love
Yeah,
that.
well, I'm there now. You understand? So if your mindset as an entrepreneur is at the right place, trust me, you will be in the right places.
Mm.
Most if. And I always say this, entrepreneurs, we are not the normal ones. We are different from everybody. Yeah, people look at
Ah,
that
the
and they're
peculiar
like,
kind.
what's that
Okay,
word?
cool. That's
Me
fine.
I did
Move on.
caps ship. Me, yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
He did caps. What are you saying? He did caps.
Never heard that word too. I'm
Exactly.
joking.
We stand together, entrepreneurs. So what I'm saying is we need to understand that as an entrepreneur, you cannot live an average life. You
Mm.
cannot, because you are not part of average society. You are the solution to other people's problems. Behave like it. I'm
Mm.
not saying be arrogant. I'm not saying treat yourself like you're the messiah or anything like that. But you need to remember you are in a very tough field.
Yeah.
You are in a field where we look at you, we look at your business. You're
Yeah.
in a field where every little thing that you do, every little thing that you say, we're looking. Now, I've had people wanting to work with me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, cool. Give me a week. Galavik, don't think I'm just sitting and thinking about it. I'm going through your social media. What do you post? What do you talk about? Does it align with my brand? You understand? Because now I'm not working alone. There's MTN behind me. There's
Mm.
EPL behind me. There's you understand. There's Action
Yeah.
Coach. So whatever that I'm doing, it affects MTN. It affects EPL. It affects Action Coach. Ngoku now will align myself with somebody who's an entrepreneur, who's a speaker. Xa ndifika kwi-social media yakhe umsewuthwele isavana. You
Mm.
can't. You really cannot. So, as young entrepreneurs, we need to check ourselves. Check
Mm.
yourself as a young entrepreneur. Okay, look, man, the kind of people that I look up to, are they living the kind of life that I'm living? And when I say that, I don't mean it a mile and everything, but the way that you conduct yourself.
Character.
You understand? There
Mm.
was a time where you posted me you telling me that I'm always wearing formal shoes. Yeah, when. And I to explain where that comes from, actually, whenever I go out, I need people when they see me, they see Modern Clever, they see Butlers R Us, they see Kithingesi
Yeah.
Radio, they see MTN, everything. You understand? I don't want people when they see me, they're like, hey man, kula Asanda besimamele radio, it can't be. And it has become a lifestyle for me. It really has even it dress code. Little thing as a dress code. I've met people who don't talk that in tracksuit. They're like, tracksuit, you look so approachable now. And I'm like, that's the thing. I don't want to look approachable. You must look at me and
Mm.
say, if I want to speak to this guy, let
Yeah.
me get
Take me
my story
seriously.
straight.
Take
You
me
understand?
seriously.
So we gotta take ourselves seriously as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And that way we'll create our own luck. If Abantu want to talk about luck, but luck is no, there's no
Mm.
luck in business.
I love that. I love that, business people. Um, you mentioned alignment,
Mhm.
aligning with the right people, and you spoke of mentorship, just being able to look up to people and work with the people that you look up to, or learn from the people that you look up to. And I remembered one of the Kasi conversation sessions, looking at all the business people that were there. They were either the first in their family to branch into business, or to even pass matric, or to get into university. And there was little to zero guidance at times. There was no support. There was no person you can look up to and say, hey, my uncle was doing this, so he's going to teach me. Literally all the people who are in this field are very far from your reach. Like you said, hey, to approach me, you need to have a proper strategy in place. You need to know what you're approaching me for. I don't have time to waste, right? So that's where a lot of people, young people, come from a place where there's no support, there's no guidance, and at times you don't want the guidance because you've grown up without it, so you want to prove to people that, hey, I can do it on my own. I can make it by myself. I don't need a Bonke Kweza to tell me what to do. I'll make it. I'll find a way, so that when I'm there, I can say I'm self-made. I made it on my own. I didn't need help from anybody, which is an achievement for you because you didn't have support. So you can say, I did something on my own. But I want to ask, how important is that mentorship in business?
Dude, no man is an island. I don't think anybody can work their way right through to the top without
You always
having,
need
without relying on other people or needing assistance from other people. It's very important. You need a mentor. They don't have to be in your life on a daily basis, but someone you check into at least twice a month.
Yeah.
You discuss things with them. I went through this. How would you advise me to approach this? What's the best alternative, to this kind of problem? So you need one. You need a person that knows more than you. They don't necessarily have to be in the field that you're in. As long as they're in business, they're an entrepreneur, they understand the challenges, they understand the environment that an entrepreneur operates in. You need it.
I agree with that, and I'm one for pushing this mandate for young people having mentors, because a lot of the times I didn't have one for the longest of time, and I'd pick up things from just being around people and hanging out with them, and like, oh, this is what I learned, or being in communication and so and so. And because I'm curious naturally, I'll just ask questions, and then I found that having a mentor, like actively pursuing a mentor and having one, actively saying, okay, I'm intentional about this. This is someone that will help hold me accountable, someone I'll learn from, really helps how you move. You move differently when you have someone who holds you accountable, someone who's teaching you intentionally and says, okay, this is what you need to learn. Sometimes there's, I want to say homework, I don't like the word, but there is, yes, there's that someone who pushes like, hey, you need to learn about this and we'll talk about it later. So that's very important. If you're a young person and you're listening right now, having a mentor is very important. Now, on aligning with the same like-minded people, business people, how important is that? When you're out boxing, you're talking business, like, is that a thing? Because someone will say, when I'm not working, I'm outside now, I'm in box. There's no need for me to look like, a modern clever. There's no need for me to present myself as that. Now I'm chilling. Let's go out, let's have fun, and all of that. How important is that, mixing with, people who are in the same field as you? Still, even outside of like work.
You definitely need to network, man. You need to meet people. People need to know about you. People need to know about your business, and you need to generally just know what's out there. Who's doing what. How can we maybe partner, or how could we work together to do this much better and bigger? So I'm a fan of networking, but you don't really network in the nightclub, with loud music and things like that. I mean, there's more appropriate networking events, cocktail events and things like that are relevant. But other people network in the club and seal business deals in the club. But that's not for me. That's not for me. So I do network. I encourage people to network, meet people, share ideas with people, and collaborate with people.
And that's so interesting because this was it last week? Yeah, last week. I have a new coffee plug now. By the way, I have a new coffee plug.
I people that
so
drink
good.
coffee. Wait, sorry. Before you go, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm about to judge you right now. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm 60.
Wow,
Tea for old
I'm
people.
not 60. So I wanted to grab some coffee. Yeah, I'm driving and I see this nice spot. What's the street, man? It's Astados no Maitas. It's connected quickly in Southern. Just forgot the name.
Yeah, see, I'm be quickly. It doesn't align with our brand.
Nah. You were praising Quickney a few weeks ago.
I mean,
Ngalinge.
it doesn't align with our brand, bro.
I have tapes. You were praising Quickney.
What?
Oh, is that so? So when I'm driving, I'm like, well, I don't have coffee. I want coffee. I see the place I park. I meet two guys there. One guy is running the place. The place is Inga Coffee when you go into Quidney. Junior is running the place there. And then Ngapandle, there's another guy buying. And they having a conversation. They talking about the launch. There was a launch of a new restaurant, Malinda. Last week. So they talking about that. And I'm like, I'm on a skis chance. Sorry for interrupting, but how did it go? Because I wanted to go, but I couldn't. That no, it went amazing. It was great. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I introduce myself. Hi, Asanda Magaga. I do
Yeah.
this and this and this, right? And then this guy's like, oh, okay, cool. Your business is the kind of business I want to work with. You understand? I'm Sam. I'm like, Sam's Grills. He's like, yeah, Sam's Grill. I'm like, yeah, no, I know your business. It's a snack park. You understand? So we had a conversation, I think, for about 45 minutes. We were supposed to just get there, get coffee, and leave.
Yeah.
So it is important sometimes, that thing of, even if I'm here on a personal capacity, I am still networking in a way. Now, Gogo, we're still working on a collaboration with those guys where we just want to take entrepreneurship and educate Abando and Abaselokshini about entrepreneurship, because we've seen that they don't have access to the kind of information that we have. So we want to give them that for free. So you understand that a simple 45-minute conversation could be the birth of something that is going to change a lot of lives, and not just our lives as the three guys, but different people's lives. So it is important for you to be aligned with people who have the same mindset as you. Very important. Even those catch-up sessions where nihlala and have a cup of coffee. How are things, man? How's your mental health? How's this? Because at the end of the day, nobody will understand your problems like somebody who goes through the same problems. They understand, they know how to deal with them. So by all means, man, networking doesn't necessarily mean, okay, I'm going there to meet new people. No, just have a small session with your gents or with your colleagues. How are things? How are you doing? You understand? Very simple. It goes a long way.
Yeah, there was a question here Asanda had shared with me. Him having been in the industry for 7 years, I
Yeah.
think that was your question.
Mhm.
Does he feel that the leadership
Mhm.
of our
Our
country
country.
has adapted to how ICT
The
I need to,
potential of ICT,
yes.
first of all, you understand? Like, you see how our country compared to other countries, there's a huge difference. So do you feel that in the 7 years, Wena, that you've been in the ICT industry, which can go, the industry existed way before that 7 years, but you got on it, and then you're 7 years in now, and you're doing amazing things. So do you feel that our government has adapted to ICT, and how ICT can help improve or can contribute to our economic development?
All right. Thanks for that question. I think in the past couple of years that I've been in the space, I have seen the strides that Uhulumende has made. Our government has, put in place different policies and things like that to help make the industry a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
Just a quick example at the top of my head was how Uhulumende got involved in how data prices were so high. They came in with policy legislation that ultimately led to the price of data dropping. So the government is making strides. Another one is the Department of Communications has been overhauled completely.
Yeah.
It used to just deal with postal services and things like that, but now it's become a much more leaner government department, and it's doing a lot of great work. The 4IR Army,
Yeah.
they've made a lot of commitments. I think one of the biggest ones is how they intend to teach 10 million people robotics by the year
Amazing.
2030. So our government is putting in place policy. They're making great strides in terms of making the industry a lot more better, opening up the industry for startups and for people like you and me.
Yeah.
And for a long time there wasn't any funding institution that really dealt with this specialized field that I'm in,
Yeah.
which is software development, data sciences, digital marketing. Traditionally, when government institutions fund ICT companies, it'll be usually like a thingy, internet cafe, or a
Okay.
computer shop.
Yeah.
So where there's consumables of IT being sold, USBs, computers, and things like that. Those are the kind of ICT businesses Uhulumende used to traditionally fund. But most recently, last year, I think October or so, they launched a fund, the Small Business Department, led by Minister Stella Ndabeni.
Oh, yes.
formed a fund called, I just forgot the name of the fund,
Yeah.
but it's purely dedicated to ICT businesses. So you can be an ICT startup, you're developing a certain app. If it makes sense, it makes business sense, you well researched on it, they'll fund you. You could be in software, you could be in data sciences, digital marketing. We now have access to this fund to fund specialized services in ICT. So definitely Khulumende is making instrides. And I think generally, like you mentioned earlier at the start of the show, how you went to go book your license or something like that, and everything was done online. Just last year, there was none of that. But I think they've realized the importance of it and how generally ICT can definitely be used for development, for economic development, as well for development of people as well. So Khulumende is making strides. But there's definitely room for improvement. Yeah, for sure.
I will then, in that case, government, I forgive you. It's fine. I forgive you.
This guy in government.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you'd sit with the president here, you'd
my man.
you'd give it to him. Then,
Hey, he must know.
hey, yo,
He needs to
Cyril.
know. But yeah, no, man. Unyansile. You know what? Unyansile. And props to the government, man. You know, props to them. Yeah, because we always complain a lot about them. But yeah, no, props to them, man. We
always
we
complain.
see you. Oh, I complain, but I complain and do something about it after that. You understand?
Before we go, we need to, get to know a whole lot more about your business also. You're into software. What's your business?
Okay, so
exactly,
my
your baby.
My baby's name is Virgo Tech. We in the tech space, obviously. We do software development. We help you develop a software for your business. Whether it's a customer relationship management software or you need help with a mobile app in your business. And we also innovate. We come up with products. So the couple of products that we're working on now, I mentioned earlier, was the Augmented Reality App. So that Augmented Reality App is addressed to the education sector. I'm passionate about education, by the way. All the solutions I come up with, I always try to address things around education. So the Augmented Reality App is meant to help students that have difficulty learn better. So it's an app where you just open it up and you'll scan your textbook, and whatever subject matter you're learning about, maybe it's maths, maybe it's sciences or whatsoever, a video will pop up or a 3D model will pop up, and it will explain in detail how that particular thing comes together. Whether it's a molecule, or you're learning about gases or whatsoever, or maths. Augmented reality is meant to help students learn and understand abstract concepts better. And then the machine learning models.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is
really
kudos for that.
Really is.
That is brilliant.
And then the machine learning model is something that we're working together with the IDZ as well. They're helping us build a product out of it. Basically, the idea was to use machine learning, data sciences to predict school kids that are at risk of dropping out. We know that a lot of people leave school. I think when I read the stats, it was something like of 100 children that start school in grade 1, only 12 of them are going to actually go to varsity. A lot of them,
and even in the 12 of them, only 4 will probably get that qualification.
That, So there's a problem around why children are dropping out of school from grade 1 right up to matric, but the biggest ages are around grade 9 or so. So we're trying to use data sciences and machine learning to solve this problem, to predict, okay, Asanda is most likely to drop out of school because he's missed X amount of days. He lives 100 kilometers from the nearest school. He lives in a child-headed household. He doesn't have uniform, etc.
So this is how the government
we're now
can
trying
come
to
in
use data and to predict
Amazing.
who's at risk of dropping out, so that interventions can be made before that child drops out of school. So we want to work with the Department of Education. We want to work with social development.
Hope you guys are catching your sub. That is brilliant.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're trying to come up with solutions to address the various social ills and things like that we face in society.
Why did you have to come to radio for me to know all these things about you? How? Because I didn't know these things.
Check out my website.
So you didn't know what Virgo Tech was?
No, I knew a few things about Virgo Tech, but I didn't know everything. And just him, never mind the business side, just him being somebody who's so driven about making change. He could have chosen to just do it for the money and that's it. You understand? But he chose to do it, okay, for the money, but for the benefit of everybody else.
Mm.
That's amazing. That
Yes.
you already had my respect as a man, but now you have more extra respect.
Thanks,
You
thanks,
you
man.
have respect
Appreciate
for me as a man and as an entrepreneur. You have so much respect for me, bro.
And is it growing? Do you see the growth in your business?
Definitely. From the time I started off to where I
Mm.
am now, I definitely have seen growth,
Mm.
both financial growth, personal growth, business growth, etc. I've seen growth.
Financial
Yeah,
must
no.
be there. See financial growth.
Yeah, so I have seen growth. I am making progress, and I'm thankful to everybody that supported me, the businesses that have trusted me, the individuals that have supported me, shared my posts, everything. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Mm.
yeah. No, we love those people, man. We need them.
Shout out
We need them.
to them or
Yeah.
us. What are we looking to do now in the future?
Okay, so right now we're working on the different products that we spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two things that are taking up a lot of our time now. Coming up with these products and putting them out there as apps that
Mm.
people can make use of. So ultimately, that's what the company is doing now. We're working on building these two products, the machine learning model and the augmented reality app.
So they're not already on Google Play Store yet.
We have demos for them,
Okay,
not
okay,
out there yet.
okay,
We haven't
okay.
launched them.
Okay, so soon.
Yeah,
Watch
soon.
out for that. I think that's very
It
brilliant, man. I'm
is.
thinking
It's
about it.
amazing.
And I hope like the Department of Education takes it and runs with it because they need it, honestly.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
like we need it.
We do. We
We
need you.
need it.
We need you.
We need it. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate this. I appreciate the conversation. It was very long, man.
It was.
It's actually
Didn't even
an
feel
hour
that
and
long.
15 minutes. It's very long. It's usually shorter than
Ah, but
that.
you should have known. You can't say let's talk about entrepreneurship and ICT and think it's gonna be never. Can
You're
never
a
be short.
ghost. You know that people can't see you, Mos.
Yeah,
They
good.
can hear the voice, but they
Yeah.
don't even know who they're talking to. Like, who are you, bruh? Like,
Hi, I'm the voice.
Oprah voice.
Guys, thank
Thank
you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure being with you guys.
We appreciate that. Where can people catch you on social media or your business?
Okay, so my company's name is Virgo Tech. That's VERGO, and then Tech TECH. That is my social media handles, Virgo Tech, www.virgotech.co.za, and my cell phone number is 067 944 5836. Give me a call. Visit my website, see some of the work that we've done.
Girls?
Oh, no,
Ladies.
ladies.
Oh.
Give me a call and let's see how we can collaborate and bring together your energy and my energy and see what we can come up with. Yeah.
Yeah, girls are already
That-
thinking,
that-
clocky,
Why are you exchanging energies? Oh,
soul
Hey, man.
energy,
Hey,
soul
man.
ties.
We're talking about business here.
Yeah.
You are exchanging energies.
Come on, you've got some good energy.
Soul
around you.
exchange.
I need some of it. You know?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can do with your energy too.
Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks a lot. And then Vele, no shout out to Madam Yana. Shout out Madam. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Catch for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I always say when you listen to Young Purpose, you don't just listen because you're bored. You listen with the intention to support and to consume our content. So for that, we thank you so much. You can catch Upra Voice.
The voice.
The voice.
Yeah, no. You can catch me, Asanda Magaga, everywhere. And hey, Footy, there's a TikTok video that's trending. It's me. There's a video of mine that's trending.
He famous. He
Yeah.
famous.
Well, it's my hands, not me. But you see the ring in the video. So now I'm famous. When you meet me somewhere, I'm famous. But yeah, man. Plans for the week. What's gonna happen this week for you?
Plans for the week. Yeah,
Make
that's
the world a
what.
better place.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Man.
Or the Eastern Cape. a
Dun
better
dun
place.
dun.
Okay. We
I
love
like
that.
I
We
like
love that.
My plans for the week: see him at the office on Monday. I get to say things like that now. See you at the office. Life's good, guys. So yeah, see him at the office on Monday. I have a pitch that I'm doing this week at the office again. We spoke about it, but mainly, yeah, man, this week. Yeah, there's not too much to be done because we have teams now who do
Okay.
things. It's
Mental
nice.
work also. Like
Mental
that.
work, man. Yeah, most def. What about you?
Nah,
What are
this
you
weekend
shooting?
are
You shoot things.
we recharging? Nah.
This weekend? Yeah, no, I'm recharging today and tomorrow.
Mm.
Recharge. It was just the show today. Otherwise, no work after this. It's just recharge. That's it. And
Perfect.
Xbox. I haven't gamed in a while.
Okay, cool. Gents, you heard that. You hit him up.
Yeah, hit
Asanda
me up.
Magaga, go and play games.
Let's game,
Be
man.
fruitful. Plans this week. Bye guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you so much. It's just Man, come on.
You don't want to
Listen.
share your plans? Eh?
Not this week.
Uyajola.
Not
Uyajola.
hi baby. This week, yeah.
Ne,
Next week.
real
Thank you
cheese
so
move in
much
silence like lasagna.
for joining.